Oh, hey, interwebs peoples and stuff and thing, and hey, and what's up? So, October 8th, we got some info on BlizzCon, aka we got the schedule. And it's a nice balance as usual. You know, you got the main stage, opening ceremony, and then directly after that is World of Warcraft Legion, world and content overview. What I'm hoping is going to happen in the opening ceremony is that we're going to see a full actual expansion video, not like what we saw this past time, or what we saw the first time we saw Warlords, where it was in-game character models. I want full rendered, high-end cinema quality graphics like we had for the Times Change video and the Cataclysm video and whatnot, not this in-game stuff. So I'm hoping that they'll actually give us that, because they announced Legion way ahead of time, and judging by when the expansion seems like it might be coming out, like late first quarter, early second quarter possibly, they're going to give us that cinematic fairly early. And I also think it would be a great way to open BlizzCon this year and build that hype train up for Legion. With World of Warcraft already being talked about right now, other than the full cinematic, some things that I really hope that are explored at BlizzCon are, naturally, we're going to get a better look at a Demon Hunter. Most of the YouTubers and people that are going to BlizzCon will get some awesome footage most likely, or they'll at least get some game time with a Demon Hunter, and they'll get to play it just a tiny bit. So we'll get a little bit of information there, which will be really nice. I unfortunately am not going to BlizzCon, but I would love to. I also would really like to see a little bit more elaboration on the lore, so we know why we're going here to get these pillars that belong to the Titans, maybe an elaboration on some of the other people. I really think that they need to explore artifacts a little more, because there's still a lot of people that are really skittish about artifacts, only getting one weapon for an entire expansion. They didn't show a lot of skins for the weapon, and yes, you can transmog the weapons, which is fine, but some people are still a little iffy that you only get that one weapon, and it might be a little cliche, and it might be like a little niche thing, and then what happens in the next expansion, you just get rid of the weapon, and then what, you just get a new one? So Ashbringer, which is the focus point of everybody that talks about it, you're literally going to go to the next expansion and you're just going to get rid of Ashbringer? Or is Ashbringer going to go with you into the next expansion, which means that what, we're going to have the same weapon for the rest of our WoW lifetime? Some people are very iffy about it. It doesn't bother me all that much. I think it's cool that you become that legendary lore character. So those are some of the major things I'd like to see. I'd also like to see a lot of information on class order halls, because the class order halls, aka Garrison 2.0, I think are awesome, and I think it's what they were really aiming to do with the garrisons, but things got so convoluted and they just went really bad. People are just pissed off. So by simplifying it and doing, much smaller number of missions and or smaller number of followers, and the followers are kind of major people, I think it's a much easier, nicer system, and what they've described so far seems like it's going to be intelligent and it's going to be smart. So we can only hope. With that being explained, we can move on to what else is there. So after we have Legion, world content overview and whatnot, we have the future of StarCraft 2, which StarCraft 2 is very fun. I have fond memories of StarCraft 1, and I love StarCraft. Now, StarCraft 2, I'm super pleased with it as far as the story goes. The units are great. The game is beautifully rendered. It's awesome to see so much more lore, and really knowing the Xel'Naga are somewhat of a threat, or not so much the Xel'Naga themselves, but one of them is a threat. It's great to see the lore explored, but I'm just not super into StarCraft in the competitive side of things. And I mean, Blizzard really didn't fuel StarCraft 2 as a super competitive game. I mean, it has a competitive side. There definitely is tournaments, but I don't think that it grabbed hold like it could have, like League of Legends has, or even Heroes of the Storm, which is what they're really pushing for. Speaking of Heroes of the Storm, after we have StarCraft 2, we have Heroes of the Storm hero design, which I think is really cool, because I want to know how they come up with their characters. I mean, it's a MOBA. So knowing how they come up with the characters and their design, I think is really interesting, because Heroes of the Storm is different than most of the other MOBAs in the fact that the only thing that you really worry about is which talents you want to pick for each occasion. So those talents have to be really fine-tuned and controlled and picked so that your choice really matters. Unlike, in League of Legends, you just pick Kog'Maw and then you're like, okay, I'm going to go with this build. I'm going to build this up the fastest because it kills things the quickest. I'm going to build this up and I'm going to build this up. And then I got to go buy my gear, and the gear is what matters. With Heroes, it's simplified to the point where it's really nice and anybody can get in. And, there's going to be people out there that they just don't take to it quickly, and some people might rage quit on them. But overall, the game is really friendly across the board, and it has a nice competitive side. The gameplay can get really intense, and it's built off of teamwork. It's not built off of feed me, let me get last kills and things along those lines. It's built for team play, which is nice. After that, we're going to be looking at World of Warcraft, the cinematics, the Road to Legion. I'm not really super sure what they're really going to be going into. They might be assessing just the cinematics that will be in Legion, similar to all the cinematics that run Warlords of Draenor, which I hope they do that again because that was great. Then they talk about Hearthstone, what's next. It's a card game. It's, you know, random number generator. Which card you're going to get next, I don't know, man. Hearthstone's an infuriating game to me sometimes. But then Diablo 3, a dev talk, which will be really cool, but Diablo 3 is... I don't really know where they're going to go with it. I don't think they're going to give it another expansion, just because I don't think they want to sink the time or money into that. But the game has such a quality to it. Playing Diablo 2 for months on end, deep into the night with my friends, was great. And then Diablo 3 came out and it made it a more beautiful experience. It was awesome. It's just one of those games, like when I get bored now and I have like 20 minutes to kill, I'm not going to load WoW. I'm not going to try to do a heroes match. I'll just jump on Diablo and I'll grind like a Rift, or I'll just do like some quick bounties or something. It's like a quick little just hack and slash game that's all about big ass explosions and shit blowing up. It's awesome. So lastly, the only thing that we haven't talked about is Overwatch. Overwatch is on there. They're going to be talking about it. The only thing that made me sad about this BlizzCon is the fact that I feel like Legion is really going to take away from Overwatch. I don't know if it's maybe they're just pushing it to the back, but who knows? Maybe Blizzard's going to come out swinging this year. But Overwatch, I'm really excited for. I'm terrible at first-person shooters, and based on how they made Heroes of the Storm a really accessible MOBA for anyone to get into the genre of games, I think they'll do the same thing for the first-person shooter aspect of it, where it still takes a considerable level of skill, but to get into the game, there's a much easier learning curve. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to have from Overwatch. I would also really like them to maybe announce the beta and then give me access to the beta, because I want to be in the beta. But that's it. So that's all I got for you guys. If you like what you heard here, like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know that you liked it and make me feel all special and stuff. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, good day.